Wandavision, Wandavision. Hello and welcome. Today we're going to be ranking all episodes of Wandavision. Let's go. Number 9 is episode 1. Now this does feel quite cruel of me because I did really enjoy this episode. And this episode does really do a brilliant job of setting up the style of show that we are watching. However, this is the only episode that's kind of like 100% sitcom, and also the sitcom is kind of like, as it's quite old, it's kind of like the least relatable and least funny. So overall, this is the episode that just works the least for me. Number 8 is episode 3. Now, while I really enjoyed episode 1, this for me was a massive step up. I think the sitcom moments work a lot better. I think this episode's a little bit sharper, a little bit wittier. Also, the ending of this episode really does work a treat for me. That is really great storytelling. However, this is an episode that really does lack that kind of standout moment in a way, and therefore it's just not as memorable as some of the other episodes in the series. And number 7 is episode 4, an episode that both works for me and doesn't work for me for the exact same reason. I'm not mad, just let me explain. I do like that we get some answers and some reveals and some cool things, because I genuinely don't think the show could have kept up being like 100% sitcom for much longer. However, the negative for this episode is that it kind of feels like a dead stop in the story where the plot doesn't really move forward enough for the reveals they give us. By no means a bad episode. I mean, it has Jimmy Woo in it. How bad can it be? Number 6 is episode 8, the episode that kind of really did show the WandaVision formula to me. 3 episodes of story, followed by a setup, backstory episode, another 3 episode story, another setup, and then the finale. However, this one does work quite a bit better for me than episode 4 did. I think the emotional moments in this episode are exceptional, and also, because the show is about Wanda, having this backstory episode be focused on Wanda instead of episode 4, which wasn't Wanda focused, that to me was really important because it still felt like the story was going instead of a complete dead stop like episode 4 felt to me. And number 5 is episode 7. Now this is the episode where Monica finally gets something to do since episode 4, and her origin story is held together brilliantly, it's told fantastically, and I really do enjoy it. Wanda gets some really funny sitcom moments, and in this episode her sitcom moments really do work. It's a modern style, the sitcom elements really work for me. Agatha reveal does come off as predictable, but then again the theme song is really fun, and overall it was a good way of handling what could have been a very predictable twist. Now this one falls back is what they do with Vision in this episode. It very much feels like they had an idea for Vision from episodes 1 to 6, they had an idea for Vision in the finale, and then they just didn't really know what to do with the character. While he isn't needed to appear in episode 8, his arc in episode 7, he's just there for the sake of it. It's literally pointless. Number 4, ding ding, it's time for unpopular opinion. I know about half the people already watching this video have clicked off by this point, but honestly, I loved episode 2. The show is built on the fact that Wanda created a sitcom world for herself to hide herself from her trauma, and this is the perfect episode to show that. Not only is the sitcom fun, it's very funny, and you can see it's kind of is Wanda's idealistic life. This episode just manages to nail the sitcom style perfectly. I think the magic show is also probably the funniest scene in the entire show. I've rewatched it multiple times. It is just really funny. This episode also has some great Easter eggs and helps set up the mystery. Overall, fantastic episode of WandaVision. Now, I'm genuinely not sure how I feel about my next placement, but at the number 3 spot, the number 3 spot is the series finale, episode 9 that was released today. This was such a tough episode for me to place, especially because with the other episodes, I've had chance to watch them at least 3 times before doing this, whereas this is literally off my first viewing of the series finale. I think some stuff in here works amazingly for me. I think the end little bit between both the 2 visions and then the Agatha-Wanda fight both really work well. Their resolutions are very fun and they work. I think a lot of the setup done to kind of make this a proper Scarlett Witch origin story, like she was Wanda before, now she is the Scarlett Witch, and it was all handled very well in that way. My one slight thing is, were kind of promised MCU. I mean, tell me if I'm wrong, but Kevin Feige has kind of said, this is the movies, just stretched out into a longer format, just happened to be on Disney+. And the action itself, like, the resolutions to these fights, amazing. The fights themselves, like, watching two visions punch each other for 5 minutes, there wasn't really much done with that concept. I think a lot of the fan theories kind of ruined this episode. I mean, everyone was predicting Mephisto and who is Evan Peters and all of those things, and I don't think the show was going for those, and maybe that's a mistake on the writer's part, but overall, I don't know if this has left a sour taste in my mouth yet. I think this is an episode, though, that will definitely improve with time, as I'll know what's happening going in. I'll know that not to expect Doctor Strange to show up at any moment. I'll know not to think that White Vision could be Ultron. Like, basically, I won't have any of the things that I thought. Life. Number 2 is episode 6, an episode that is just fantastic to me. Evan Peters really injects some life into this episode. He's just fantastic. Vision scenes here are very useful, and they keep building the mystery and the intensity, and the finale of the episode is great with all that. Lily and Tommy also, this is the episode that you kind of really start to like them with their powers and the hijinks, and it's very, very fun to see them in this episode. This is the episode that kind of attaches you to them for the future of the MCU. However, at number 1 is episode 5. It's the episode where the major MCU and the sitcom crash together in a perfect way. Sitcom elements really do work, and there's honestly some great humour involved with that. The Darcy, Jimmy, Monica trio is born and is glorious. Sitcom elements really do work in this. It's just a very fun, funny episode. Vision's arc from kind of like the first episode to being completely involved in it to kind of really questioning things in the end argument is just phenomenal. This episode also provides the standout scene of the show, Wanda coming out of the hex. Just honestly an amazing, amazing scene. The episode, along with the finale, gives us the best kind of look at the more anti-hero side of Wanda, where she isn't quite an anti-hero, but she's certainly involved in the grey zone, where, you know, she's not always the best of people. So that was my ranking of the episodes of WandaVision. Episodes like 4 and I think 8 as well, people probably rank a little bit higher than I did. And I definitely think episode 2 is gonna get some slack in the comments for how high I put it. But those are my opinions, and I'd love to have a chat with you in the comment section. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
This is Willany, and if you're not already subscribed to the Nerdy Brit, right, you should be, right? If you're not, you're a loser too.
Well done for making it to this bonus part of the video, which I definitely didn't forget to record during the first recording. If you want some extra Nerdy Brit content today, you can go over to the Fandom Master channel, where we have done an entire podcast breaking down WandaVision and talking about just generally what we thought about it. So go check that out. Thank you very much.